You have the vision, the desire, the opportunity right in front of you. But some unseen weight holds you back from fully entering creator mode. That invisible break you feel isn't psychological. It's physical stones of unresolved trauma lodged in your sacrum, blocking your life force from flowing. Ancient mystics called this sacred bone your vibrational throne, the seat where creator energy either flows freely or gets dammed by past shocks. Once you dissolve these energetic stones through one secret movement, your entire manifestation field clears instantly. Are you ready to unlock your sacred throne and let your river flow? Deep within the sacred architecture of your body flows a river. It is not made of water, but of pure creative life force, the pristine energy that is your birthright. This current moves from the base of your being, intended to spiral upward, feeding every cell, every dream, every intention you hold. It is the very source of your manifestation, the engine of your spiritual expansion. Yet for so many, this river barely trickles. Imagine journeying down into this inner landscape, deep beneath the surface of your conscious awareness. There, at the foundation of your spine, lies the sacrum, a triangular bone that is not just a physical structure, but a resonant chamber for your life's history. And in the riverbed of this sacred space, you would find them, the stones, invisible to the eye, yet immensely heavy. Each one is a moment of unresolved trauma, a forgotten pain, a shock to your system that was never fully processed. They are the accumulated weight of a lifetime, calcified into silent barriers that obstruct the very flow of your being. This is the source of that nameless resistance you feel. Have you ever felt it? A sense that you are moving through life with an invisible brake applied. You have the vision, the desire, the opportunity right in front of you. But some unseen weight holds you back, keeping you from fully entering your creator mode. It is the feeling of being anchored when you were born to soar. This is not a failure of will. It is a blockage in your foundational energy. Your inner river, the very vibration of your potential, is being dammed by the ghosts of your past, lodged physically within your body. The flow cannot ascend. Your field cannot expand. But what if you could dissolve these stones? Not by blasting them with force, but through a subtle and profound spiritual alchemy. What if you could turn the dense, stagnant energy of trauma back into the pure, flowing current it was always meant to be? This is the work we are here to do. It is a process of conscious release, a reclamation of the power that has been locked away in the forgotten corners of your being. For those of you who have followed this path with me, you will remember the 4 movements of somatic release we have explored together. They have opened pathways, cleared channels, and awakened a new level of bodily consciousness. But there has always been a piece withheld, a final key to unlock the deepest chamber. I am ready to share it now. At the very end of our journey today, I will reveal the 5th secret movement, a practice designed specifically to target the sacrum and begin the gentle, powerful dissolution of these foundational stones. You must stay for this, for it connects everything we have done before and unlocks the next level of your liberation. So, take a breath. Feel into your own body right now. Can you sense it? That subtle pull, that quiet friction against the current of your life. Realize now that this feeling may not be a psychological barrier, but a physical one, an energetic one, a spiritual one. The curiosity you feel is your soul recognizing a profound truth. The urgent need rising within you is the call of your own river, begging to be set free. The secret to your ultimate flow is not outside of you, waiting to be found. It is inside of you, waiting to be released. This knowing is not new. It is an echo from a time before our time, a truth etched into the very bedrock of esoteric wisdom. Long before we had the language of modern psychology, ancient traditions understood the body not just as flesh and bone, but as a living temple for the soul's journey. The key to this temple they taught was hidden in plain sight at the very foundation of our physical form. This wisdom finds one of its purest expressions in the timeless Hermetic teachings, attributed to the great sage Thoth. In these ancient schools of thought, the sacrum was revered. It was known as the seat of a primal fire, the vibrational throne upon which the serpent of consciousness was meant to rise. They saw it not as an inert piece of anatomy, but as a resonant crystal, a sacred geometry capable of storing the complete vibrational history of your existence. Imagine that. Every joy, every shock, every moment of trauma that ever passed through your field left an imprint, a subtle signature upon this bone. It was understood to be the physical anchor of your soul's contract, the point where the infinite energy of spirit crystallizes into the finite experience of being human. These early mystics knew that a life fully lived required a clear and resonant throne. They understood that unresolved experiences, especially profound shocks to the system, did not simply vanish. They became dense, heavy. They would calcify within this sacred center, creating a dissonance, a static that disrupted the entire field of consciousness. This is the ancient root of the blockage we feel today. A disharmony at the very base of your being creates a ripple that distorts your perception of reality, your capacity for manifestation, and your connection to the universal flow. The life force, intended to ascend in a perfect spiral, is instead forced to navigate around these heavy stones of the past. The signal from your creator self becomes scrambled. Close your eyes for just a moment. Can you picture them? Sages of old, in quiet temples lit by oil lamps, moving through subtle practices. They weren't just stretching their bodies. They were tuning them. They were engaging in a profound spiritual alchemy, consciously directing their breath and intention into this foundational center. They were performing their own sacred movements to dissolve these energetic imprints, to polish the crystal of the sacrum until it shone with its original light. This was their secret to unlocking true creator mode. By clearing the throne, they allowed the pristine energy to rise unimpeded, aligning body and soul, matter and spirit. They weren't seeking something outside of themselves. They were liberating the power already sealed within. And here is the truth that should land in your heart with the weight of revelation. That quiet sense of being disconnected you feel, that subtle friction against the current of your own life, is not a modern ailment. It is not a flaw in your personality or a failure of your will. It is the echo of this ancient insight playing out within the sacred architecture of your own body. You are feeling what the sages of old dedicated their lives to resolving. A deep and profound awe should rise within you as you realize this. The nameless resistance that has shadowed you is a known spiritual condition, with a known path toward release. Suddenly, this is not a problem to be fixed, but a sacred journey to be undertaken. A longing awakens, doesn't it? A deep cellular yearning to reconnect with this forgotten vibrational foundation, to reclaim your own throne, and finally let your river flow free. This deep yearning you feel, this cellular pull toward release, is more than just a spiritual desire. It is a biological imperative. For centuries, the wisdom of the resonant sacrum was the domain of mystics and initiates, a truth whispered in sacred circles. But now, a fascinating convergence is taking place. The language of our modern age, the language of science, is beginning to describe the very same truths the sages perceived through heightened consciousness. This is not a dismissal of the ancient ways, but a profound validation of them. The emerging field of somatic neuroscience is providing us with a new map of our inner world, and what it reveals is breathtaking. It confirms that you are not just a mind that has a body. You are a single, indivisible field of intelligence. Your body does not just remember trauma, it records it. It holds the complete vibrational signature of every experience, especially those that overwhelmed your capacity to cope. And it records them not as abstract memories, but as tangible patterns of tension, chemical signatures, and neurological holdings. Consider this. At the base of your spine, surrounding your sacrum, is one of the most complex networks of nerves in your entire body. This is a primary switchboard, a junction box that communicates information from your legs and pelvic region up the spinal cord to your brain and back down again. It is intimately connected to your survival instincts, your fight or flight response, and your parasympathetic system, the system that tells you when you are safe to rest, create, and connect. When a shock hits your system, a physical accident, a sudden loss, an emotional betrayal, your body instantly floods with survival energy. If that immense charge is not fully processed, if it is not allowed to move through and release, it has to go somewhere. It cannot simply vanish. The energy becomes trapped, held as a standing wave of dissonance within your nervous system. And where does the body anchor this foundational disturbance? It often lodges it deep within this core switchboard, the resonant chamber of the sacrum. The trauma becomes a physical reality, a knot of neurological programming that continuously whispers a single message to your entire being. It's not safe. Stay small. Stay contracted. This is the physical source of the resistance you feel. It is the tangible, scientific explanation for the invisible break. You cannot broadcast a vibration of expansive manifestation while your foundational circuitry is anchored in a frequency of survival. Your creator mode is perpetually short-circuited by a subliminal signal of danger broadcasting from the very base of your being. Your conscious mind may strive for abundance, love, and flow, but the older, deeper wisdom of your body, holding the unresolved energy of the past, keeps your entire field in a state of subtle, protective lockdown. Let this new understanding settle into you. Let it land with a profound sense of relief. What was once purely esoteric is now becoming tangible. The stones in your sacred riverbed are not just a metaphor. They have a neurological correlate. The blockage in your flow is not just a feeling. It is a pattern of physical holding that can be consciously addressed. A hope should ignite within you now, a deeper trust in this process. The spiritual alchemy we speak of is not just an abstract idea. It is a tangible process of somatic release, of conscious neurological repatterning. Suddenly, the journey ahead becomes not an act of blind faith, but a credible and empowered path to transformation. The release we are working toward is not just an emotional catharsis. It is a physical and energetic recalibration of your entire field of consciousness. By activating this area, by applying the secret of the fifth movement, you are doing more than a spiritual practice. You are sending a new signal through your deepest neural pathways. You are communicating directly with the core of your being, telling it that the old danger has passed and it is finally safe to let go. It is safe to release the stones. It is safe at last to let the river of your life force flow. And so we begin, not with force, but with presence. The time for understanding the theory has passed. Now is the time for direct experience, for the sacred work of reclamation. Find a space where you can be undisturbed for a few moments, a place where you feel safe and held. Sit comfortably, either on a chair with your feet flat on the floor or cross-legged on a cushion. The alignment of your spine is important, so sit tall but without strain, as if an invisible thread were gently lifting you from the crown of your head. Allow your hands to rest softly on your knees or in your lap. Now, gently close your eyes. Take a deep, slow breath in through your nose, allowing your belly to expand fully. And as you exhale, release the air slowly through your mouth with a soft, audible sigh. Let this first breath be a signal to your entire being, a conscious message that you are shifting from the outer world of doing to the inner world of being. Take another breath just like that, deep, full, and slow. With this inhale, bring your awareness fully into the physical container of your body. Feel the points of contact between you and the surface beneath you. Feel the weight of yourself, the simple, undeniable fact of your own presence. You are here. You are grounded. Now, let your breath become the vehicle for your consciousness. With your next inhale, imagine drawing the breath not just into your lungs, but all the way down through your torso, past your navel, and into the very base of your being. Imagine this breath traveling down to illuminate the triangular bone at the foundation of your spine, your sacrum. And as you exhale, feel your awareness gently resting in this foundational space. Continue this rhythm, inhaling light and presence down into this core chamber, exhaling and allowing your focus to settle and deepen there. Do not try to change anything. Simply arrive. This is the first movement of this inner alchemy. Pure, unconditional presence. As you continue to breathe into this space, begin to notice. What is the subtle energetic weather here? Is there warmth? Coolness? A sense of density or weight? Perhaps you feel a dull ache, a slight numbness, or maybe nothing at all. All experiences are valid. You are simply tuning your awareness to a frequency you may have ignored for a lifetime. If you feel that familiar resistance, that sense of a blockage, do not fight it. Acknowledge it with a quiet reverence. This is the signature of the stones. This is the stored energy of your past, asking not for judgment, but for your loving attention. With each breath, simply hold this sensation in your awareness, letting it know that it is finally being seen. Stay with this. Continue to breathe into the very heart of that density, that numbness, that forgotten space. You are bringing consciousness to where consciousness has been absent. You are bringing warmth to where things have been frozen. And now, be very still and listen with your entire being. Underneath the weight, beneath the tension, at the very core of the stillness, can you feel something else beginning to stir? It may be impossibly subtle at first. A faint warmth spreading through your lower back. A gentle internal pulse, like a slow and distant drumbeat. It might feel like a soft tingling, a quiet hum of vibration, awakening in the bone itself. Do not search for it, but simply create the space for it to be felt. It is the first response from your body, a sign that your life force recognizes your presence. It is a flicker of the primal fire, a stirring of the dormant power within its reservoir. Let this feeling, no matter how faint, be your anchor. A quiet excitement begins to blossom in your chest, a profound sense of hope. This is real. This is not just an idea. It is a tangible physical sensation. You are feeling the very beginning of the shift. The solid stone of past trauma, held for so long in the darkness, is finally meeting the light of your awareness. And in this meeting, the first molecules of dense, stagnant energy are beginning to dissolve, turning back into the pure, flowing current of your creator self. The alchemy has begun. Stay with that subtle vibration, that gentle warmth. This is the first language of your body's deep intelligence. It is the beginning of a conversation that has been waiting to happen for your entire life. Now, from this place of deep listening, we will introduce the next layer of this spiritual alchemy. We will invite a gentle movement, not to force a release, but to coax the river back into its natural flow. Keeping your eyes closed and your awareness anchored deep within your sacrum, begin to invite a subtle sway into your hips. This is not a large or dramatic motion. Imagine it is so small that someone watching you might not even notice it. A gentle, circular rocking, as if you are polishing that sacred crystal from the inside out. Let the movement originate from the very core of your being, from that place you have filled with your breath and your presence. Allow your body to soften into this. Release any tension in your jaw, your shoulders, your belly. This movement is an act of profound self-compassion. With each tiny circular motion, you are communicating safety to the oldest parts of yourself. You are gently rocking the holder of your deepest history, letting it know that the time of being frozen is over. Now, tune your consciousness even deeper. Can you feel the vibration of this subtle motion? Feel how it creates a soft, resonant hum that travels through the bone, through the nerves, through the very field of energy at your foundation. This is the key. You are using gentle physical movement to create a frequency of release. This is the secret the ancients understood. You are creating a vibration of love and presence that is more powerful than the dense, stagnant vibration of old trauma. As you continue this soft, hypnotic sway, begin to visualize. See this gentle vibration shaking loose the fine dust of old sorrows, the calcified residue of past shocks. And with your breath, imagine this loosened energy beginning to transform. See it turning from dense, dark stone into shimmering, liquid light. And this light begins to move. It begins to rise from your sacrum, not as a forceful torrent, but as a graceful, ascending spiral. A spiraling current of pure life force, your own pristine creator energy, finally being liberated. With each breath, with each gentle sway, feel this spiral of light rising higher, clearing the channel of your spine. It moves upward, carrying with it the dissolved imprints of the past, not as painful memories, but as purified energy, returned to its original state. A profound sense of ease begins to permeate your being. The friction you have always felt begins to dissolve. The flow is returning. Feel it. Breathe into it. The current of your own life, moving freely once more. And now, in the midst of this gentle flow, pause your movement. Be completely still for a moment. Bring all of your awareness back to that foundational space at the base of your spine. And notice what has changed. Where there was once a sense of density, a familiar weight, a nameless resistance, what do you feel now? There it is. A surprising lightness. A feeling of openness, of space, where before there was only a blockage. It may feel like a warm hollowness, a clean emptiness that hums with potential. This is not just an absence of pain. It is the presence of your own reclaimed energy. A quiet wonder blossoms within you. The impossible has just become possible. You have just directly experienced the transmutation of your own past. This is real. This alchemy works within the temple of your own body. Let a new determination rise within you, born not of struggle, but of this newfound truth. You hold the key, the power to dissolve every stone, to free your entire energetic field, has been inside you all along. You are ready to continue. You are ready to fully step into your creator mode. Hold this feeling of readiness. Bathe in this newfound truth. The release you just experienced is not a fleeting moment. It is a permanent shift in your energetic architecture, a reclaiming of your own sacred ground. But to make this transformation last, to weave it into the very fabric of your being, we must now move into the final phase of this alchemy. We must anchor this new freedom. Remain perfectly still, either seated or standing. Let the gentle memory of the sway fade and settle into a state of profound stillness. Now, take your hands and place them gently over your lower back so that your palms are resting over the area of your sacrum. This is not a gesture of pressure, but of presence. It is a communication of profound reassurance. Through the warmth of your own hands, you are sending a signal of love, safety, and recognition to the very root of your being. Close your eyes if they have opened, and bring your full awareness back to your breath. But this time, we breathe with a new intention. With your next deep inhale, imagine drawing the breath not just into your lungs, but directly into your hands, and through your hands into the warm, open space of your sacrum. Feel that entire area expand with life force, with pristine, conscious energy. And as you exhale, do it with a sense of gentle finality. Feel the energy settling, grounding, becoming a new, stable part of you. This is the sealing of the work. You are consciously anchoring this state of release into your physical body, locking in the new vibration. Take several more breaths just like this, inhaling into the sacred foundation you have cleared, exhaling and feeling it become solid, real, and permanent within you. With your hands still resting there, a silent testament to your own healing power, begin a new visualization. From the very center of that cleansed and open bone, see a light begin to glow. It is not a faint flicker, but a radiant, steady sun awakening within you. This is the light of your own life force, pure and unburdened. This is the energy that was once trapped in the stones, now transmuted back into its original brilliant state. With each beat of your heart, allow this field of light to expand. See it spreading outward from your sacrum, filling your entire pelvis with a gentle, golden warmth. Feel it then begin to ascend, moving up your spine not as a forceful current, but as a harmonizing wave of consciousness, bathing every vertebra in its glow. It spreads downward through your legs, rooting you deeply into the earth. It expands outward, saturating every cell, every organ, every tissue of your body, until your entire physical form is luminous, vibrating with this renewed vitality. This is the alchemy made manifest. The heavy weight of the past has not just been removed, it has been transformed into the very fuel for your future. The energy of old trauma has become the raw material for your most potent manifestation. Now simply be with this. Rest in the center of this radiant field that is you. Let your hands fall away to your lap and just notice. Beneath the warmth, beneath the light, what is the core sensation that is emerging? It is not a feeling of floating away. It is not an ungrounded bliss that leaves you disconnected from reality. It is the opposite, a profound, unshakable sense of being rooted. A deep, quiet solidity settles into your core. The inner static has ceased, and in its place is a crystalline clarity. For the first time, perhaps ever, you feel fully present in your body, fully anchored in the here and now. The resistance is gone, and what remains is a powerful, integrated stillness. This is the secret that lies beyond the release. True spiritual power is not about escaping the body, but about fully inhabiting it. The creator mode you seek is not a frantic state of doing, but a grounded state of being from which all intentional action flows. From this place of deep somatic peace, you can finally send a clear, coherent signal to the universe. Your entire field of consciousness is now broadcasting from a foundation of clarity, not a foundation of trauma. Let this powerful knowing settle into you. The work is done. Your throne is clear. And from this place of grounded power, your real creation begins. This grounded power is not an abstract concept. It is a living reality, a new frequency from which your life can be broadcast. To understand its profound effect, consider the story of Daniel. For years, Daniel lived with a quiet friction against the grain of his own life. On the surface, things were fine. He had opportunities, relationships, and moments of success, but an invisible anchor seemed to drag behind him. He felt a persistent, nameless resistance, as if every step forward required pushing through an unseen thickness in the air. This was the weight of his own unreleased trauma, a silent accumulation of stones in his sacrum that dampened his entire field of consciousness. He was living in a state of subtle stagnation, disconnected from the vibrant flow that he sensed should be his. Then he was introduced to this sacred work. He began the movements not with expectation, but with a quiet desperation for any kind of shift. He brought his awareness down into the base of his being, into the very bone that held the record of his life's shocks. He breathed into the density. He invited the subtle sway, the gentle, resonant frequency of release. And at first, nothing dramatic happened. But he persisted, returning each day to this quiet internal alchemy. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, something began to change. It started in his body. A chronic tension in his lower back, a tightness he had carried for so long he had stopped noticing it, simply began to dissolve. It was replaced by a surprising warmth, a feeling of openness. He could feel a subtle energy, a vibrant current, begin to move up his spine. It was the sensation of his own inner river, long dammed, finally finding its flow once more. The physical ease was a profound relief, but it was what happened next that changed everything. The true transformation was not in his body, but in his mind. As the physical blockages began to release, so did the mental and emotional ones. The constant, low-level anxiety that had been the background noise of his entire adult life began to quiet. The mental fog he had been navigating for years started to lift. One morning, looking at a project that had overwhelmed him for months, he didn't feel the familiar wave of resistance. Instead, a simple, astonishing clarity bloomed in its place. He saw the next step, and the one after that, with an effortless knowing. It wasn't a manic burst of energy. It was a deep, calm, and centered sense of purpose. This was his creator mode awakening. The release of the dense, stagnant vibration in his sacrum had cleared the static from his entire energetic field. For the first time, he was broadcasting a clear signal. He began to act from this new foundation of flow, and his reality began to shift in response. His journey from being stuck to embracing this profound release reveals the true secret of this work. The physical release you feel is the key, but the emotional clarity it unlocks is the kingdom. Daniel's story is not an exception. It is a promise. It is a testament to the truth that by courageously turning inward to dissolve the stones of your past, you do not just heal your body. You free your spirit. You reclaim the boundless energy that is your birthright, and finally step into the life that has been waiting for you all along. And yet, as you return to this sacred inner work, day after day, you may encounter something unexpected. In the quiet space where you once found that warm openness, you might instead feel a wall, a sudden, unyielding resistance that rises from the depths of your being. As you breathe down into your sacrum, intending to continue the release, you might be met with a powerful internal no. A surge of fear, a wave of profound doubt, or a physical clenching that seems to lock everything down. Do not be alarmed. Do not believe for a second that you have failed or that the alchemy has stopped working. What you are feeling is one of the most predictable and potent stages of this journey. This is the guardian at the gate. For years, your body has held these patterns of trauma as a form of protection. It learned that contracting, holding, and staying small was a strategy for survival. Now, as your consciousness arrives with the intention to create a massive shift in this foundational vibration, that old intelligence rises up to defend the status quo. It is saying, "Are you sure? It is not safe to change. We have survived this long by holding on." This resistance is not your enemy. It is the echo of your own life force, conditioned into a pattern of defense. To meet it with force is to start a war against yourself. You cannot blast through this wall. You can only dissolve it with the very same presence that began this work. So when you feel it rise, pause. Acknowledge it. Even honor it. This is your body's deep, primal wisdom trying to keep you safe. Now, with your awareness resting gently on the surface of that internal wall, begin to breathe. But do not try to push your breath through it. Imagine your breath is like warm water, flowing around the edges of a great stone. With each inhale, bring your loving attention to the place of tension. With each exhale, soften everything around it. Soften your belly. Soften your jaw. Soften your perception. Silently, in your own heart, communicate to this part of yourself. I see you. Thank you for protecting me. But the old danger has passed. It is safe now. It is safe to let go. Continue this gentle process, breathing, softening, reassuring. You are not demanding release. You are inviting it. You are patiently showing the oldest part of your consciousness that a new way of being is possible, a way that is not rooted in survival, but in the expansive flow of your true creator energy. You are building trust with your own body, moment by moment, breath by breath. And here is the secret that will transform this entire experience from a struggle into a revelation. That wall you feel? The intensity of that resistance is a direct measure of the power it contains. The fear and doubt are not signs of weakness. They are the vibrational shadow cast by an immense, untapped energy. A small, insignificant blockage would create no resistance at all, but a profound one that holds the key to a massive expansion of your field, will be guarded fiercely. Let this truth land in your heart. The resistance itself is the sign you are on the right track. It is proof that you are standing at the threshold of a monumental release. Suddenly, the wall is no longer an obstacle, but a promise. It is the energetic signature of the very power you are seeking to reclaim. A new and profound determination should rise within you now, not of force, but of deep, abiding commitment. You realize this is not a fight to be won, but a treasure to be lovingly unearthed. The energy locked within that resistance is the very fuel for your next great unfolding. And with this knowing, you breathe again, ready to meet the guardian with compassion, and finally unlock the gate to your own liberation. And with this knowing, you breathe again. You are ready to meet the guardian not with force, but with love, and finally unlock the gate to your own liberation. The time has come. Everything we have done, the 4 movements, the breath work, the deep listening, has prepared you for this moment. It is time to reveal the 5th and final secret movement, the key that integrates all the others and opens the ultimate channel for your life force to flow. From your seated position, maintain the tall, dignified length of your spine. Your awareness is already resting in that warm, open space at the base of your being. Now, keeping that connection, begin the movement. It is almost impossibly subtle. From your hips, initiate a slow, gentle forward tilt. This is not a slump or a stretch. Imagine it as a reverent bow to the power held within you. A bow of just a few inches is all that is required. As you begin this gentle forward motion, the inner alchemy ignites. This physical tilt is the trigger for the most powerful visualization yet. See that radiant sun within your sacrum, which you have already cleansed, now begin to spin. And as it spins, it sends a brilliant spiral of light and energy ascending up the channel of your spine. With every millimeter you tilt forward, you are consciously drawing this current of manifestation upward, through your core, toward the higher centers of your consciousness. Feel it now. This movement harmonizes everything. The presence, the sway, the grounding, it all culminates in this one sacred action. This is the final unlocking of your vibrational throne. And there it is. The surge. A wave of release so profound, it feels like a homecoming. A current of pure, unimpeded energy floods your entire system, dissolving the last vestiges of resistance. The inner static is gone, replaced by a hum of pure potential. This is your creator mode, fully and completely online. In this moment of pristine clarity, the wisdom of the great mystic Rumi echoes through the temple of your body. The wound is the place where the light enters you. You understand it now, on a cellular level. The trauma was never a mistake. The stones were not a punishment. They were the compressed carbon of your experience, waiting for the pressure of your loving awareness to be transformed into the diamond of your true self. The wound was the doorway. Rest here for a moment, feeling this complete and total integration. The alchemy is done. Your field is clear, but you are not alone in this feeling. As this wave of liberation settles within you, feel it connect to a larger field. the energy of every other soul undertaking this journey at this very moment, all unlocking their own sacred centers. The sense of community is palpable, a shared grid of light. This is not just a personal healing. It is a collective awakening. Your liberation adds to the light of the world. As our time together for today comes to a close, know that this is not an end, but a beginning. You now carry this cleared and activated energy within you. Let it inform every step you take, every word you speak, every creation you bring into the world. To anchor this transformation and continue this sacred work, take these final steps with me. If this journey has resonated with you, show your support by clicking the like button. To continue receiving these insights, subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications so you never miss a step on the path. And if you know someone who is seeking their own freedom, share this with them. Now, to make a powerful declaration to yourself and to the universe, go to the comments section and write, "I unlock the roots of my sacrum." Feel the truth of those words as you type them. Finally, a link to another journey is now on your screen. When you are ready, click it to continue your expansion. You hold the key. You are the alchemy. Your real creation begins now. If you're ready to take your awakening beyond the mind and into your body, there's a free presentation linked in the pinned comment that reveals a simple method to cleanse your pineal gland and support your activation. Open it in a new tab to learn more, and come back to continue your journey. We'll go even deeper in our next video.